wearing a bandana too. I know. It's okay. You'll figure it out. You'll figure me out someday. Probably not. Cape's too hot too. All rise. The Honorable Judge It. Excuse me. All rise. The Honorable Judge It, aka Bunny Boy. Bunny Boy, aka Bandana. All rise for Judge It, please. Judge It to the courtroom from the quarters. No, they don't deserve the belly dance. They don't deserve the act. Just get to business. Just get to business. All right, to business. To business. This is a private message. Number one, this is my copyright. My intellectual property is my copyright. Basic international U.S. standard international copyright protection law. Number two, I'm sharing it. Presently, I'm only sharing it with my court-appointed attorney, Mr. Richard C. Seaton Jr. This is a message following up from my Monday, June 25th meeting in his office. Oh, excuse me, not his office. No, in his office's lobby with his receptionist, Jane Doe, or not Amber, or maybe Hannah, whom I had to research, who actually did sit in on my meeting besides everybody in the public lobby. You stole my privacy, sir. You asked me what I wanted to do. I said mistrust, $14 issue. 1 in 11 people are shoplifters. That would mean 510 shoplifters in this community. I've been studying this since 2016. My experiments, my site, it says there in the police report. I gave her my business card. Secret shoplifting service. It's a real thing. Look it up. Marketing people do it. And if you weren't a Jayhawk, if it wasn't for you being a Jayhawk, sir, I would have read you the riot act. I did not want to embarrass you in front of your subordinate. So I suggest that you have me in for another meeting and that you talk seriously with me and you don't laugh at me this time, because it's not unreasonable for a person that you're defending and being paid to defend, even though it is your corporation that is paying you and giving you those commissions on the fines. And although that's not really justice in any sense of the word, when the corporation of the Manhattan and Municipality Incorporated is also paying the prosecution, yes, the judge, yes, the defense, yes. If you want to take this to trial, sir, you're arguing it. You're going to have a lot of affidavits, a lot of subpoenas, a lot of witnesses, change of venue too. Obviously, I can't get a fair trial in this community. And you should know that. By the way you were laughing, I could judge it just by the way you were laughing. Whatever rumors you've heard that you believed, Satanist, pedophile, rapist, dog fucker, dog rapist, pedophile, Satanist, Luciferian, Mason, all untrue, not me. I'm a de-occultist. Oh, witch, that might be true. A little bit. There's a little bit more truth to that. Witch, bitch, there's some truth. Pagan, maybe. You getting me? But that's none of your business. Oh, and everything I do is an experiment, sir. Where's my degree? I got degrees on the wall from the University of Kansas also, sir. I got multiple degrees, and they say I'm a scientist. And scientists take experiments, and they do experiments. Everything I do since I landed here 20 months and now 25 days ago. But it was 20 days, actually, when we met, sir. 20 months and 20 days. And my sight, my vision has never, ever been clearer. I was wondering why these reasonable people, reasonable seeming people, intelligent, average at least, kept on going back to jail, back to jail, back to jail, back to jail, getting popped for. Now I see why. It's called Fourth Amendment. I've been to the Supreme Court. I've been to the Kansas Supreme Court just as much as you and your dad. I made a career on Supreme Court cases. Citizens United. Look it up, 2013. U.S. Supreme Court case 009587, Boyd A. Graves versus the Office of the President of the United States. Look it up. Topeka versus Board of Brown versus Topeka Board of Education. Civil rights. Oh, look it up. my name in marble 20 years ago in the Rosa Parks Memorial Museum and Library in a fountain in marble. Not my idea. Not my idea. Look it up. I've been standing up for civil rights for a long time, sir. So we have something in common as well. The United States Constitution. You may pick the second, I may pick the fourth, I may pick the first, I may pick the fifth. Somebody better pick up the third. What is the third? Oh, freedom from I think that's the religion one, isn't that? We're gonna find out because guess what? Brownback's office is unconstitutional. Guess what? All the times that I've been picked up and demanded to show my ID to the RCPD, unconstitutional, sir. Fourth Amendment, Kansas versus Wyckoff, and then what happened? Look it up on the 30th, on the 1 year anniversary of Kansas versus Wyckoff. Who stops little old it 3 blocks from his house at 5th and Vermont? Sergeant who? Sergeant Brecken, don't you reckon? I say, no, I don't need to show you my ID. He demands my ID. Illegal search and seizure by the Constitution. I wasn't doing anything illegal. I was minding my own business and I was complying with his request. You guys are absolutely ridiculous. Oh, and the court ordinance isn't that a clever way for you to... Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Seaton only likes to schedule. I called on the 8th, right immediately after my court date. But Mr. Seaton only likes to schedule. Only schedule you 10 days before your court date. Did they give you a court date? No, they didn't. They gave me a status check date like everybody else. Sorry. Oh, that is your court date, said Hannah. What? No, it's a status check date. You got fucked up, Hannah. No, status check is court. Sorry for your bad luck. I've been in a lot of courtrooms, never ever once heard it called a status check. So there's part of the problem. Next problem, 10 days before. But the defendant can contact the prosecution to make a negotiation anytime they want, up to 10 days before. Set up. Got him coming and going. Public defender. Now my next research question is going to be something like, how many people did this public defender defend in the last 5 years that received a positive result? Positive result meaning acquittal, mistrial, innocence. You get the point. Dismissal. That's my next research question. It's too hot to wear all this. Oh, and if you were smirking and laughing in my face, I said, why would you laugh in my face? Either he's never seen a man in lipstick, which I know that's not true, or he knows there's no way he's going to do shit to help me. That's more true than anything. Well, guess what? Guess who's in Itville and guess who's the it? Who's the ass? It's an ass. Don't tread on me. I know my rights. And according to Citizens United, I'm a corporation too. If corporations are persons, and they are, then persons are corporations. And we are. I'm a corporation, you're a corporation, he's a corporation, she's a corporation, they're a corporation, we're a corporation. Thanks, Citizens United, uniting us. Hey! All right, so tread carefully with me, sirs. I don't want to embarrass any more people than absolutely necessary. And that's why I can tell you 1 in 11 shoplifters are 1 in 11 people in the population of shoplifters. I can tell you most start when they're teenagers. I can tell you the average shoplifter that steals 20 years is worth about almost $250,000, believe it or not. I have no criminal record. I told you I was doing this, and my publications are dated, time, date stamp. So it's just really, even the police report says, oh, she gave him his business card and tried to sell him some radio and some experiments. They're my friends. I've already suffered enough. I lost the trust. I didn't have that part of the experiment figured out. If I'm guilty of anything, it's that. Abusing my friend's trust. If I'm guilty of anything else, it's not giving informed consent that people were under evaluation as data points in an experiment, a real life social studies experiment. And that was one of many, the shoplifting experiment was one of many that I have initiated in this community. You may have heard of the drum circle experiment, or the online radio experiment, or the virtual experiment, or burlesque my burlesque act experiment. Or you may have heard about, I don't know, the 2 dozen people or so I've held up here and housed here and given showers and food to, thanks to the Flint Hills breadbasket and God, who knows else. Because your city, Manhattan emergency shelter is run by crooks. Your city's run by crooks. You're a crook. He's a crook. She's a crook. Wouldn't you like to be a crook too? I don't think so. That's organized crime. And that don't play with me. That's opinion, by the way. It's hearsay. Oh, and by the way, you want to know what happened when I was walking home? Number one, I had to put everything down. I got a student back. My college student, I got him back for summer classes. Thank goodness. All right. He was here. He had to give me a ride. He had to take 2 hours out of his schedule so I could go down there and you could ridicule me and steal my privacy, and then do absolutely everything I tell you not to. Ask you for a motion to dismiss, period. It's not an unreasonable request. You said, why? There's 100 reasons why you could get it dismissed. Don't give me that shit. I'm not one of these dummies. I'm not saying I'm super smart, but no, I'm not one of them dummies. So, listen. One of the biggest problems with shoplifting, sir, is consuming the resources of the court and the system and the judicial system, if that's what you guys want to call it here. If you still want to call it judicial system, well, you better start treating it like it's a judicial system and not your own personal fiefdom and your own little vendetta rings. I've been doing case studies for my alma mater. Fuck KU, right? Yeah, fuck KU. And when I become governor, fuck KU, that will be against the law. No one will be able to say that. And if they do, life in prison. I guess that's all I gotta say. Easy rant. All right, shut it off. Make sure that you remember to send this to your defense attorney. Oh, I didn't finish. Yeah. So when I walk up to the house, my porch is full of people. And they're like, "What's the matter with you? Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling at yourself? Why are you yelling at the ground?" I said, "Well, I just came from a meeting with my defense attorney," and he laughed at me. He laughed at me, and he refused to do what I said. He said he's gonna set it for trial. I'm like, why? I don't know, because he's a moron, I guess. And then one person, a businessman, 60-some years old, who's been here for some time, knows these people much more than I do. He said, "You went to go see Richard C. Seaton? Did you go dressed like that?" Because I had my bra and my skirt. And I'm like, yeah. You know, I did. Because I woke up later. He wouldn't have got that on a regular day. No, he wouldn't have. But I woke up late. I had a late night that night. And, yeah, he had to snicker and snide and, do his thing. But worse than that, this man, this reasonable, intelligent person, citizen of Manhattan, businessman, owns several properties. I know him well. Sitting on my porch, talking to the other guys, and he says, "Oh, you were that? Yeah, you're going to jail, boy." No, I'm not. Stop. He's like, "I guarantee it. I bet you money." What? No, that's not it. That's not me. This is a minor $14 issue. I have nothing to learn. I'm not a shoplifter. I was doing an experiment. They know they're my friends. Come on. It was Kroger. I was writing a case study for Kroger, but now I'm writing a case study for an independent billionaire Indian. Big deal. He says, no, he hands it. He puts his hand out. He's like, "I bet you money you're going to spend 30 days in jail." Well, that's awfully telling. Because remember, he's basing that upon me walking into my defense attorney. That would suggest to a reasonable person that defense attorney is known for not being a defense attorney around town. I think Old Snakes and Pisa, were, and I thought I had PR problems. Oh, and I do. Trust me, I do. Yeah, but I misunderstood. But that's a different thing. I'm not a crook. I'm well intended, and I'm sorry I hurt my friends, and that hurt beyond reproach. So if anything, I've suffered plenty enough. Not just my quick shop friends, my Uber friends, my taxi friends, everybody that I had friends down there. That was my place. That was my hangout. And the only reason I chose them was because I felt comfortable enough to try that experiment there. Experiment that's been on the books since 2016. Finally got it done in 2016. Oh, and yeah, City of Manhattan Incorporated, Municipality Incorporated. I'm incorporated too. And this is an experiment and a data point all for you to see how these reasonable people keep on losing all their money and their freedom to mercenaries, right? And this will be political activists. Try to throw me in jail as political activists. I'll have a drum circle, a powwow. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I do. But remember, the government trained me as a psychic killer, so I wouldn't. I know that's above your pay grade, above your clearance level. And don't make me get out diplomatic immunity. I do not want to be forced to play the diplomatic immunity cards. Cards, plural. That's what's plural. Diplomatic immunity cards, plural. All right, I don't want to do that. Get me off, dismiss it. Technicality, end. Frivolity, end. I'll do all the work. By the way, I'm billing you all the way, Corporation of the City of Manhattan. This is my time. Oh, and then my students on the porch when this man says I'm going to jail. So my student gets freaked that I can't help him finish his classes. So I'm going to lose my student. The only one permanently deprived of anything has been me. My time, my student, my reputation, what there was left of it. All right. I have a log. I have everything that I've ever taken from Quick Shop Incorporated, once owned by Kroger when I stole from Kroger, now no longer owned by Kroger, so they don't even have standing. The City of Manhattan has no standing. Admiral Court, no standing. Me, I don't even have standing. Sue my corporation, okay? Sue my corporation. My corporate lawyers will get with your corporate lawyers. Whatever. Give it a break. It's not a federal case. Go do something important, like stop bicyclers at night in the intersection of 5th and Fremont on the anniversary of Kansas versus Wyckoff, Sergeant Brecken. You know, that's what you did, Sergeant Brecken. You stopped me and illegally searched and seized me for my ID on the anniversary, the 1-year anniversary of Kansas versus Wyckoff, a Kansas Supreme Court case that determined the United States Constitution, 4th Amendment, and what you've been doing to people, illegal search and seizure, breathalyzers, blood, hair. That stands true for IDs too. That's my ID. I bought it. You've seen it a million times since I've been here. Put it on file. I'm not giving it up again. Put it in your orientation books. Put it in your cars. Put it on your smart pads. Make a wallpaper out of it. Because, like I said, you don't need to see my ID, and I meant it. All right. Have a nice night.